could talk, all the animals, and you were going to have a conversation with an animal, which one do you think would have the most interesting conversation?
Well, I have animals, so I talk to my goats a lot.
You have goats?
I have goats and chickens, bees.
Bees?
I don't talk to the bees.
No, yeah.
I don't think they like me, but probably the goats. The goats are fun. I sit and hang out with the goats.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, whether they're intelligent.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't know. Probably still an interesting conversation.
They're pretty goofy.
You have bees?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot?
So this coming year we'll have 4 big hives. We've been had up to upwards of 7.
Wow.
So then we spin and make the honey and
Really?
yeah, sell it at the spa.
That's
Not
interesting.
so much honey, I don't know what to do with
You
it.
saw it at the spa. That's cool. Wow. Because the only honey I've ever bought is off the grocery store shelf.
So it's completely, organic.
Yeah.
We spin it, we strain it 3-4 times and put it in sterilized jars.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's
done.
interesting. I mean, I have animals, but not like that. I just have dogs. I just said.
Well, so right now my husband's raising a billy goat, so we're going to breed our own goats. So
Sure.
he's taken this goat and it's left its mum early, so it's a bottle baby.
Okay.
So this thing is going everywhere with him. He's up in the morning feeding it. It's house trained.
Yeah.
It crates it at night and then he takes it to work with it.
It's a house trained goat.
Yeah, would you believe it? I couldn't believe it.
How do you,
I
don't even know how you would do
I don't
it.
even know either.
Yeah. It's hard enough to
floored.
train a dog.
When he said he had it trained, because I'm down here a lot working, so he's been doing it. I was just home.
Yeah.
I said, there's no way this thing isn't going to, because goats just kind of, poop everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Not at all.
Not at all.
Wow. If
It's our little pet.
my wife is watching, she cut this out. She wants my wife is from like the Midwest and she wants a farm and animals and stuff. I can't have a goat in the house. No.
No, you can have I'm going to have babies in the spring. So
I can't imagine. Okay, one more. If you could have a superpower, what would that be?
Couple. I'd like to teleport.
Ooh.
So I could be places really quick.
Yeah.
Like I could go to Dubai for the weekend. Boom.
That's kind of mine is always speed, but
yeah,
teleport. Yeah, same idea, I suppose.
Time travel. I'd be kind of curious to do that.
Forward or backward?
Either.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
I think I would go forward. No, I think I would go back. Forward is kind of scary because, like, like what?
Who knows?
Yeah, the stuff that we do nowadays, even like with these mobile devices and whatnot, like 20 years ago, nobody would have thought that was a thing. 30 years ago. So what aren't we thinking about right now that they're going to be doing in 30 years? Or hopefully that we're going to be doing in 30 years. Right?
My grandma just passed. She was 100. And so we just had this whole conversation about what she has seen in 100 years. I mean, it's unbelievable. Cars. Ever known cars?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Flying, yeah,
it's
flying.
Mad, really, what's happened in 100 years. So goodness knows.
So what's 100 years from now?
Hopefully it's all good.
Hopefully. Yeah. History doesn't say that it will be, but yeah, hopefully it is.
Hopefully. Catch ourselves on and be kinder.
Yeah. How long have you been here in the States?
So I moved here, I guess I was looking here around 2000. I moved here full-time 2005. But I built a house and was back and forth from 2001 and 2002.
Nice. And what brought you over here?
So the weather.
Okay.
Nothing very original.
No.
I was here on vacation with my ex-husband and our kids, and we were down in St. Pete's, and it was raining. It's the summertime here, so we're like, what can we do? And I've seen a sign for some model homes.
Yeah.
I said, let's go look at the model homes. We'll get some decorating tips.
Sure.
And at the time, it was $2 to every British pound. So we're looking at these model homes, we're doing the math, and we're like, damn, this is like half the price.
Half the price.
So we went back. We'd been looking for a holiday home in Europe. So we'd looked at Spain and a couple of things, and my mum has a home in Spain. And so then we said, well, no, maybe this is for us. So we bought a piece of land, we built a house, and for a few years we were back and forth. And that's what I did.
Wow. And then you decided to just make it full time?
Yeah, I had so when we started, I had one daughter. By this point, I've now got 2 girls, and they're in school, and I'm back and forth. The British school system has a lot more vacation breaks in the school year.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, so they were at school around 5 to 6 weeks, and then they have at least a week off. If not, then it's Easter, Christmas.
Yeah.
The main holiday. So we were here a lot, back and forth. Our business, we own nightclub back home in the UK. So we're working for ourselves. We're flexible
Yeah.
time.
Nice.
And that's how I did it. But then I got tired of doing that, and we said, let's pick a place. So to live here, I needed to open a business. I could have done an E2 investor visa.
Right.
Had I done that and decided not to keep the business, then my visa ended and I'd have been sent home. So we did an L1, which meant that the business in the UK was part ownership of the business here, and I was sent over as a manager, and then I brought my It was a whole weird little circle, but it all worked out. And from that visa, you're able to upgrade to a green card if everything works out. So that's what we did. And so I opened the spa. I had trained in England in beauty. I'd ran restaurants for years, and we'd had the nightclub. And we looked at doing that, but it's much bigger. I mean, our nightclub held 1,800 people. We had 7 bars, dance floors.
Oh, yeah, they don't have anything.
No live music, though. It was proper DJ-led,
wow,
dance music. And then we had there was a second room that played like the 80s and 90s, the songs with words.
Yeah, for sure. So that sounds like fun.
Yeah, so we looked at doing that, but the concept is different here.
Very.
So I did the spa. And by which point I'm now expecting my third. I'm thinking I've lost my mind. That's what I'm doing with 3 little kids.
Yeah. It sounds like you've had lots of different businesses and things like that. So have you always had this entrepreneurial spirit?
I think so. I think as a kid, people say for example, my middle daughter, from the time she could talk, what do you want to be when you grow up? A teacher. And she is doing that.
Nice.
I always wanted to be a business owner. I remember my uncle had a plant hire firm, the big cat earth movers.
Sure, okay.
Had a spare office, and I'd sit in there and play and type and carry a little bag around. I just wanted to be a business owner. I did my degree in business and finance, and I've always sort of been that way inclined. And then when I met my ex-husband, he was already entrepreneurial, and we just grew from there and did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you were aware of, I want to be a business owner. I guess I've always had the bug, but I didn't realize that's what it was. I remember shoveling snow for money, and as a teenager. I remember even as like a young adult, I would buy stereo equipment, from the repo lot, where the cars get towed. I would buy stereo equipment out of there that was abandoned and then sell it to a friend for a margin, right?
Yeah, you made a markup.
But I didn't know what a margin was. I just knew I bought it for 100 and I sold it for 200, whatever. Mm-hmm. Never considered that it was a business. It was just what the kids nowadays, they call side hustle. I still worked full time. I was just making money on the side.
Making a little cash.
It was being an entrepreneur. I just didn't realize what I was doing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think the word entrepreneur was ever in my repertoire until much, much later. No,
and it wasn't like a cool word. Like I remember when the word became known, it was like,
that
means you're unemployed or means you're broke. Like, no. I'm trying to build something here. So, well, cool. That's real cool.
And people, you're right, because when you say you want to be a self-starter, not everyone is supportive of that. They want you to take a more traditional route, do something that's steady. You got an income, you got your pension. There is like I said before, working my summer jobs, it was with the government. So they'll get you in a nice steady job. You're going to get your pension.
You're regimented. And
And I remember the first year I was 16, I was due to go to college. That's, September. And the woman who ran that department begged me to stay and not go to college. This will be a great job for you and you can work up the ranks. And I was like, no, I'm going to go,
Yeah.
I still want to do my college.
Do it.
Yeah, I did.
So for somebody that is, somebody that is from a family where they want them to be, find a traditional employer and things like that, but they want to bet on themselves, what would you tell that person?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah.
Be mindful. Don't be like mad about it. Don't be completely careless and
sure.
Be structured to a point. But and nowadays there's so many ways.
So many ways. You don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't have to be laser focused on one thing anymore. No, and that fact perplexes me because, as you may know, like entrepreneurship is dwindling down in the United States. Small businesses fail like at a rapid rate. But yeah, you're right. You don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. You can do so many different things. And the barrier to get started is so little compared to what it was. You can do a side hustle. You can, and grow it into whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that really perplexes me. So you came over here, opened the spa.
Mhm.
That's 2000,
So we opened 2006.
2006. Coming up on 20 years.
It's gone like
That's
that.
exciting. That's exciting. Talk to me about, 2006, that first year. You've been in business, so you've run businesses before you've had success, but this is a new industry.
It's a completely new industry, but kind of still customer service.
Sure.
And, just quickly on the nightclub side, back in the day, when we were doing that, there was people weren't putting cards behind the bar. I mean, it was a cash business.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Back then. So that was different. And then doing the spa in them days, it was still quite a lot of cash. Credit cards were still, especially here, were still not the main source. But it was slow to begin with. There wasn't a lot of houses, and it was definitely a oh God,
what are we gonna do?
What have I done moment for sure.
So what did you do to get business back then?
Just I did events, joined the chambers. I was in anything I could go to, popping up. I advertised a little bit. In fact, I did radio or TV back then because there was Spectrum or Bright House.
Yeah, Bright House was here.
And they did a great deal. So I did some TV. That was
nice.
Fun. I don't think I could afford to do that now. It was different then.
Yeah.
And just, went to all the joined in my neighborhood, went to all the little neighborhood groupie things and introduced myself. And
nice.
It was slow. And then 2008 came and it kind of stayed slow.
Yeah.
It was
so that was mortgage crisis coming out of the mortgage crisis at that point.
It was awful. And I know my mum wasn't living here at the time. And I think she said to me, Nicki, you should probably just throw in a tenner. She said that to me. And I was like, well, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'll just knuckle down. My landlords were really good because I think we've missed rent a couple of times over that period, and they were great and worked with me, and I just kept chipping away, doing the same thing, rinse, repeat.
Right.
And make sure I have good staff, make sure the place is always super clean. And that's one of the things I think we've done very well.
That's a big thing for having a spa, yeah.
Well, businesses, if you're not, again, it's hard because if you're doing lots of businesses and you've opened lots of locations, and you're handing it off to people to run for you, you can lose a little bit of that. But I'll go in on a Sunday and I'll deep clean.
Yeah.
That's really important to me. So, yeah, I just kept plugging away. I mean, I could have stopped because that would have been obviously the easy option at the time. Yeah. It was a struggle. Was I having sleepless nights? God, yeah, absolutely.
I bet.
God, what am I going to do? Got payroll coming up, got rent coming up.
Absolutely.
It's big overhead. And my industry, the spa industry particularly, has big overhead because we pay everyone commission. So out the gate, you're losing about 60% of your business in payroll and taxes.
Right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
And then you've got to manage everything else around that.
Around what's left over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the bills they keep on coming.
They keep.
Yeah.
None of them are going down.
They never go down. They
never go down. But we just kept doing it, and thank God we did, And I think once my mum moved here, she actually got a green card on the lottery because she's Irish. She said I was, as an English born, even though I'm Irish, I wasn't able to enter that, hence the business route. So she got hers the second time she entered. So she came, so she started helping more of the paperwork because that was building up because I'm trying to do everything, right?
Right. All them hats.
It was kind of crazy. And then we just kept plugging away. And at one point we spoke to, there's a lot of these in our industry, I'll help you. And there's all these plans. I nearly signed up with this company. And then he said, I can get you to 1 mil. And we had a conversation. It's going to cost me a monthly fee, obviously, to do this with them. And then we said, no, we can do it
on our own.
And we did. We've way exceeded that now. So, yeah, just
nice.
Perseverance, ignorance, I think, a little bit. I'll do it.
Stubbornness,
maybe.
I think you got to have a little of that, because any business, I guess not any business, some businesses they open and they've got their brilliant idea or whatever, and they take off, certainly. But most businesses, you're going to struggle in that first year or first 5 years.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you've got to be willing to say, like, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to be stubborn, whether that's the right idea or not,
is it? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I sometimes question, do I recognize always that I'm not maybe doing this right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should I have maybe taken a different way of doing it? And now, of course, there's a lot of competition. Restaurants, I mean, how many restaurants are there? How many day spas are there? How many salons are there?
Yeah.
Are you just trying to keep fresh all the time? You just have to...
Is there something, looking back, hindsight's always 2020,
Of
right?
course.
So like, is there something from those first few years that you look back and say, you know what? I wish I would have done this differently.
No, I don't think so. I wish I'd been a little richer.
When
When
you started? Yeah,
so it wasn't so tight. I wish I'd had a more of a, but then maybe I'd have been a little more cavalier.
Yeah,
So maybe it kept me more.
That's how I feel. When I started the business with Magento with like nothing, and I feel that the hustle that I had, willing to work 20, to your eyeballs bleed, whatever,
Exactly.
I don't think I would have had that if I would have started. So, the way that they say you start, you put a little 6 months of expenses, you put it in a savings account, and then you start your business. Yeah, maybe that would have worked for some folks. I don't think for me, it would have worked. Yeah.
That would have been too cushy.
Yeah. And I'll even say, my second year. I'm going to date myself. I think this is like 2012. I made my first $100,000, and I thought,
yeah, now I'm.
I've made it.
I've got the life
I've
now.
made it. I'm out. Yeah, whatever. And I remember having a good couple of months where I was very relaxed. I wasn't working like I was when I was working for dinner. You know what I mean? And so I remember being noticing that in myself and going, "Whoa, like what are you doing?"
I've done that too. So last year or the year before, a couple of years ago, everything was going great, and I think we'd had my aunt, my mum, and I were talking, and we're like, we'll probably sell in a couple of years.
Yeah,
we've made it this far, and now, so it was her 70th that year, so we did a couple of really nice trips, and really spoiled ourselves. And then I don't know what went off in our heads, and we're like, well, no, we've worked this hard to get this far. Let's do another one. Yeah. So now we're in that position where we, for tax purposes, not showing a huge profit, and we'd enjoyed ourselves.
That's right.
With 2020 hindsight, I should have not done that because I'd have been in a better position now doing this.
Absolutely.
But now I'm just kind of hungry again. I'm scrapping at it. But
so now you're looking at location 2.
We're halfway through location 2. I'm up to here with location 2.
What's that experience been like?
I'm working with the same contractor, which is kind of nice.
Nice.
And they're great. They've grown in the community too. They were kind of new when I was new, so that's nice. And it's been great so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it'll continue to be great.
The difference this time round is we do, I feel, have a good reputation. People know who we are. We've been around nearly 2 decades. So there's a little buzz now. Oh, you're opening a second location? Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. Whereas before, it was like, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
Where is the second location?
In Ellington.
Ellington?
Ellington. Okay. Right by it's my accent. By the outlet mall as you head in.
Because there's another one that's like, I'm thinking Inglewood. I always get
Inglewood South.
Yeah, so I always get those two mixed up. Yeah, Ellington. Okay, yeah, that's a good area. It's not terribly far from your first one. So
and they're not carbon copies of each other. So this space is bigger and different, and I'll do different services and products. And
so what services do you have at the main location?
So we do all the things. So hair, facials, massage, body treatments, waxing, permanent makeup. We do boutique tattoos. My oldest daughter is a tattoo artist.
What's a boutique tattoo?
Something small. Like a lot of ladies will come in and they'll want something like a little flower.
Yeah.
Something dainty.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Not a lot of colour. And they'll say, I don't like going into tattoo shops, I mean, that's changing too. That's
environment's the environment that's changed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite as a manly or have sort of this kind of dark,
but many of them are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So she'll do like things like that, delicate pieces.
Interesting.
She does the eyebrows and eyeliners. A couple of girls now, another girl, Kira as well.
So if you do like a small tattoo, it's the same process? You print it out and you put it on, and then
she'll hand draw it for them. She'll do something custom.
Nice. That's cool. Okay, what else? I got. I mean,
all the things. So you'll come in. You can come in for a full day, have your hair done all the way down to your feet, manis, pedis, or you can come in for a brow wax. I mean, the whole gambit.
Wow. Okay.
And then there's the sauna. And when the difference that other spas I feel do not do unless you go to the big hotels is we have locker rooms and showers. You're going to come in, get robes, slippers.
Yeah.
We have a relaxation lounge. So it's a proper spa. And when I did it, the spa is bigger than the hair salon.
Okay.
So it's a boutique hair salon. We have 5 stations at this Bradenton location.
Mm-hmm.
The other one will have 9 or 10, but I did it sort of, that's why we're Blue Door Spa and Salon, not Blue Door Salon and Spa.
I see.
So I'm more spa.
The spa first.
Spa first. But the hair is busy and it keeps up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if the spa experience, right? Because the spa experience is more upper class than typically a salon experience. So I wonder, because I'm sure the people that come into your salon are getting the same experience that they're getting at the spa, like that treatment, that customer service
experience.
Yeah, I wonder if that bleeds over into the salon and has an impact, because like some salons are upper class, sure, but some are just like, run of the mill.
In and out.
Yeah.
So we try and keep it elevated. It's not really loud and pop music. Everyone dresses real nice.
Yeah.
So we try and make it a spa experience. I mean, the whole thing is, especially now, it's wellness is so huge.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself. It was very much a spa treatment, or a facial was very much looked upon as a treat, like a special occasion. There are, of course, those that know the benefits of it and come, but that's changed, The whole experience now is, I'm taking care of me. It's good for me.
Right.
I feel better. If I'm well, I'm able to do better,
Yeah, absolutely. It's really taken off in the last decade, I guess, here in the States.
Yeah, for sure.
We were talking earlier about how UK is more advanced in some areas. Was it more advanced in that area?
Yes and no. So I always laugh. I said, if I had this business in the UK, I'd probably be making more money, because we don't pay commissions the way they do here. The pay is high here. This is a good career if you are willing to focus on, because they're not self-employed. I employ them. Right. A lot of people are self-employed in this industry. Okay. And if you work hard at it and smart, it's a great way to earn a living, and they make great money. But we pay commissions here in the US. Yeah. Whereas back in the UK, it'd be hourly. And a lot of the girls that I trained with didn't stay in the industry because it just wasn't paid enough. Yeah. It just wasn't well paid.
Interesting. So they would get into it and then kind of roll out because it wasn't
unless you did a startup for yourself, but then you're capped out, unless you bring other people in, and if you're not working, you're not getting paid.
Yeah. So then this new location, what services are you gonna offer there?
So the same, it'll just be more. We've got some more touchless therapy. So we have a infrared sauna, we have a salt therapy room, a really large one, the halotherapy, so good for respiratory. We'll do meditations in there as well. We'll make it multi-purposeful. We'll do the singing bowls and meditation and some one-on-one yoga. And then we have a sound therapy area with 2 sound beds. And then it's like sense deprivation in a way that you wear an eye pillow and headphones will play meditation music, and the bed all vibrates in time.
Really?
Music. It's super. Are
you going to let me come try this out or what?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay, that sounds really good.
It's so good. It's simple, but it's so good.
It sounds really good. And the sauna has all these benefits, right? Like
it lowers everything. Heart attack. We were looking at some statistics earlier. I haven't got them on the top of my head. Yeah. I mean, when I started reading all the benefits, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it sounds like it's super good for the body. Mm-hmm. And I would imagine me personally, like just some alone time, sitting in the sauna just sounds really relaxing.
And the nice thing is, so traditional saunas are, hot. Right. The infrared saunas aren't quite as hot, but then you have the added benefit of the different light therapies. Okay. So, like red light therapy is really good for inflammation and anti-aging. Blue light is antibacterial, and all the different spectrum of lights have different benefits. Yeah. So you'll be able to, we'll give everyone a legend of what they want to work on. They can pick their light color while they're in the infrared sauna, which gives them an added benefit on top of the heat and everything else. Spas and their gyms, and she was talking about him the other day. That's so funny you brought him up.
Interesting. I haven't seen Vince in 15, 18 years, and I haven't seen Tony, who owns the Crunches, in at least a decade.
I know. Time guys.
Yeah. He's got the spiky white guy with the spiky hair, and I would every time I saw him, he'd be a couple years older. He looked exactly the same.
That's kind of cool.
Always in good shape. Perfect skin. I'm like, dude, Ken, get out of here. Like, you look like a Ken doll. You know what I mean? Get out of here. Don't stand too close to me, dude. In this picture,
some people are just. I mean, it's a lot of it's genetics.
Yeah. One more thing, Nicki. Well, 2 more things. I'd like to get a picture.
Okay.
Thank you. Nicki, as an entrepreneur, your time is the most valuable asset that you have. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
And so we appreciate your time, and we want to thank you. We just got a little gift for you,
good.
just to say thank you for your time. There you go.
This is so cool. Try not to knock the microphone flying. I'm a bit clumsy. Oh, and you know me. Did you know me before today?
There you go. There you go.
Prosecco. I love that. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. A book. Yeah, that's by a good friend of ours, Joey Brannon. He's a business consultant in the area. One of the most brilliant men I've met. So it's a good read.
Yeah. I've written a couple of children's books if you want to buy them on Amazon.
Oh, yeah?
I dabble. I do a lot of things.
I see that now. Yeah,
it's the problem with having a brain that's in that like overload all the time. I'm always thinking of other things I could be doing, you know.
Absolutely.
So I promised my children I'd write a book. So my second book is called Alice from the Palace, which is loosely based on my second daughter.
Okay.
It's kind of funny.
I'm gonna look it up. Alice in the Palace.
Alice from the Palace, and the other one is Olivia and the Misplaced Giggles.
That's a great title.
I have fun. Thank you for this.
Our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
You love it.
Yep.